What's up, guys? Welcome to a new episode of Talking Figures. As always, I am Tony. Today, I'm bringing to you a nice guest that I've been excited to talk to for quite some time. We all know him from the chats, and some of us have gotten the pleasure to know him beyond that, exchanging phone numbers and what have you. If you don't know him, he's Same Time Toys. That's where you can catch him on his YouTube and his Instagram. There you can see some reviews, some unboxings, as well as some tutorials and some quick tips for prop building. He also goes live from time to time with my man Woody Triple Deuce with some Smoking Joes. And of course, you can always catch him at Drive Time with Same Time. I coined that name. But he's a great guy. He's a humble guy, and he's a very talented guy. And he's here to hang out with me, talk some figures, and shoot the shit. Please welcome to the show, Shane of Same Time Toys. What's up, brother? It's good to see you, man.
It's happening, brother. This is awesome.
Man. Dude, it's a long time coming. First off, congratulations on the 500 subs. I'm very happy to see that.
That was a little bit of work.
It takes time. It takes time, but you know what? You're putting in the work. A lot of people sometimes I notice they say to you, be consistent, which is true, but also bring quality and bring personality to it. And you seem to do both pretty fucking well, brother. So I'm glad to see that you're gaining the traction and you're growing every fucking day. And
We're
we're going to
working
sit here
at
and talk some action figures.
Yeah, fucking. The sad thing is, I'm only the third best bullshitter in the family.
Oh my goodness. Well, let's start off at the top, but it's the same question I ask every single guest when they come on the show. When did you start collecting? And what I mean by that is before you're like after you started when you were a kid and your parents would buy you toys. When you were like whether it's teens, adulthood, decided I'm going to start collecting toys. And what was the line that caught your attention that got you down the rabbit hole?
Well, the first thing I got that I was like, I'm going to keep this for the rest of my life was a Joker bank. And it was like how long ago? It was like 17 cents. I was 2 pennies short. I had to get it from my brother. Fucking flea market. I was probably 6.
Yeah.
But no, I grew up fucking the oldest pictures of me. You see me with Megos in my hands and stuff like that. They've always been there. But I think it was Batman '89.
Okay.
When all those Batman figures came out, and then Toy Biz first started their Marvel Heroes.
Okay.
As terrible as that first series was, I was all in. I mean.
Did you preserve them, or were you just taking them out of the box and playing with them?
Both.
Yeah. Okay.
One of each.
Oh, okay.
And it was finding that perfect one that was God help you if you could find one that was unpunched back then. That was a big.
Yeah.
But and even everybody's like, oh, I stopped collecting because of girls, this and that. No, I put them in the closet.
Like, you just hide them.
My closet was like a shrine to fucking action figures.
That's awesome stuff, dude. Well, so after Batman, so you're a big comic book guy, correct? I'm correct in saying this, right?
Yeah.
All right. So was it a love of comic books that got you into toys?
Cartoons. My parents, well, my dad now, he still jokes that when I was a little kid, the only way you could wake me up was to say cartoons are on.
Wow.
You could whisper that, and
great.
To this day, I'm the guy that fucking lays there, the alarm goes off, I hit it, I have a dream of me getting up and getting ready. What are you doing? You're not ready yet. Oh, fuck, I got to do that again?
Dude, that sucks, man. I'm like that too, bud. I hit that snooze button 100 fucking times before I finally roll out of bed.
Man, I hit a snooze. I had a girl a long time ago. She spent the night. Alarm went off, and this is my favorite alarm clock. It did a radio, then it did the I can't find one anymore, but I reached over and I hit that bitch with an axe. Like 3 hours later, I finally woke up. I'm like, why didn't you wake me up? What's the matter with you? And she's sitting on a chair across the room staring at me. I'm like, fucking, you're weird, And she's like, look at your alarm clock. I'm like, wow, I'm surprised you're here.
Yeah, very tired that morning, I'll tell you, right? Jesus Christ.
Not dealing with it.
Yeah. Well, so what were the cartoons that you watched?
Everything. Super Friends, fucking Jabberjaw, anything, any
Anything that,
cartoon you've ever seen, I've
yeah.
watched them all. I've watched them a billion times. Fang Face, fucking all of
Got a favorite? No
You can't
favorite.
you can't pick your
Can't
kids.
pick one. That's true. Wow. Awesome, dude. Uh, all right. So you start collecting Batman '89 figures. What's the next? What was the next step? Now you have all the Batman '89 figures. What's the next one? What do you start getting into now?
Oh man, it just all of it. I mean, I movie maniacs, just
Okay. Okay.
every every toy out there. They were still good at that point. The only toys I never got, like put it this way, my parents were upper middle class.
Yeah.
Mom was a bartender, so she had daily cash. Dad worked in the body shop, made fat loot painting cars, painting bikes
Mm,
on the side. So I was the kid that didn't have a want. I
okay.
didn't, to my brother's chagrin, fucking, my brother still hates me for it. But you know what? I was spoiled fucking rotten. I mean, it happens. Some of us
Yeah.
are lucky like that. I paid for my sins. Don't worry. Trust me. I'm. But there wasn't anything I ever, I had it all. I
Wow.
really did.
Really? You had all the
The only
vehicles?
thing I didn't get was a fucking stereo when I was 17. I wanted a stereo. Fucking can't have chicks without a stereo. I sold all of my Joes to buy a stereo.
Jesus. Well, you know why they didn't buy you a stereo? Because they knew what it was for. It was going to be playing loud music, and they didn't want to hear that shit.
Yeah.
That's usually what it is with parents, because they'll buy you everything else. Because that same thing happened
Right.
to me. Same age, teens. I was like, come on, man, I need a stereo. Now, back when I was a kid on WWE, they would kept showing that JVC Kaboom box. You remember that thing? Had the
Yes, I do.
subwoofers on the side, right? And I kept saying to my mother, I want that Kaboom box, please, ma. And she's like, no. And then it dawned on me why she kept saying no. It was because she would then have to listen to all the music that would be coming out of that fucking thing. Because
Oh,
the point of the Kaboom box is to blast the music, is it not? So I automatically kind of figured it out, and I'm like, oh, that's why you didn't want me to have that fucking thing.
right, right. Mm.
Um, so now you collect everything,
Yes.
obviously. So let's just fast forward to now. Okay, what are some of the lines you got now?
Uh, Court
Main ones,
classified.
the ones that you'll always. Those are the first ones I'm gonna buy.
I don't have one. I really
Really?
don't. No, every line for me is cherry picked. I see, like,
Okay.
oh, there, that's the guy. That version of that guy. Finally, fucking. How many Captain Americas I got, but this new one without the pins, I gotta have it.
Yeah, yeah. Do you are you not a completionist? Are you? So like, it's not like,
No,
let's say
I
you start an
was.
X Men
Trust me, I
team. You got
was for a long time. I was a
okay.
min on card collector. Um, I've learned the error of my ways.
Yeah, for real.
They're great to have, and it's always like, oh, that figure's worth that, and that's worth that, and now I got all this, and they're only worth what you're willing to spend on them.
That's a fact, bud.
Yeah. Although I did pay the mortgage more than a couple times selling the first appearance of Deadpool comics that I had. I had like 5 of them. Fucking
Really?
old lady was freaking out about bills. I wasn't working. I was like, stop. Shut up for a second. Stop. Went in the closet. I pulled out 2 comic books. I'm like, come with me. What are you, blah, blah, you've heard it.
Yeah.
No, no, calm down. Came out of the comic book store. I gave her $800. Said, shut up, please.
Wow, dude.
And then you
You had
saw the
5 of
light
those?
bulb go off in my wife's head. She
Yeah.
was like, you got 20 boxes of comics in there.
Yeah.
Not anymore, brother.
No,
Not
they're all
anymore.
gone, yeah. You have 5 of the same comic?
Yeah, it was first appearance of Deadpool. And I bought them the day they came out.
Wow,
Pulled them right
that's
off
sick.
the shelf because
Yeah.
X Force was on my pull list at the
Okay.
time.
So did you, immediately bag and tag those comics to make sure they stayed in good shape?
Yep, they were bagged and boarded and
Yeah.
put in a box with 300 other comics.
Okay. You still have any comics left, or are they all gone?
I got maybe 2.5 boxes right now.
Okay. Any Grail pieces in there still?
Not really.
No,
Couple
just
here
kinda
and there.
miscellaneous?
Yeah, just
Okay.
books that mean shit to me. Like
Yeah.
the first Avengers book that I got,
Yeah.
fucking, yeah, just shit that's important to me. That's all.
Okay. What was the if you don't mind me asking, what was the most expensive comic you had? Was it that first appearance of Deadpool?
Recently, yeah, I had a long time ago. I had a bunch of old X-Men, really old Avengers. Like I
Okay.
had 1 through 11 for the Avengers.
Wow.
And you know, shit gets traded. You're like, ooh, I got to have that.
Yeah.
Here, what do you think of
Fucking
this one?
A. Yeah. I thought last week we were at my brother's birthday party. My father was telling a story. But when he went to right before he left for Vietnam, he had a comic book collection that had so
Everything.
many books in there
Yeah.
that when he came home, when he came back, his father, my grandfather, threw them all out because he was like, "You
That's
don't
what
need
happens.
comic books. You don't need comic books no more. You're a man now. You went to
Right.
the
Yeah, that's what
military."
happens.
And my
That's
father
why
said
a
to me,
lot of those books back, well, even in the 40s, some of those books are really expensive because they
"Yeah,
had the paper drives and
yeah,
comics were the first things in there. So
yeah,
to find a surviving copy is a hard thing to do.
yeah." And he told me, he goes, "I had preserved like I made I don't know if it was bag and board back then, but to
Nope.
save them what they could." He said,
Yep.
"I had first appearances of so many
Oh, yeah.
characters."
Well, that's the time
He goes
frame, too.
Joker, Batman.
Yeah.
He had the Batman like the first book and shit like that. He said there's a couple Superman, like not the very first Superman one, but
Right.
like the ones a couple after that were very expensive and shit like that. He said I came home and he goes he was almost killed your grandfather because I was like, what are you doing? Like those are
Just
things I'm gonna
coming
save
back to
for.
the world, that's not a thing you want to do.
Exactly, dude. That's fucking crazy, man.
My
I
dad
never
tells
had
me
that.
how his mom threw away his baseball cards and he had like 5 or 6 Mickey Mantle rookie cards. Like,
Yeah, isn't that
yep,
heartbreaking when
that's
you
but
find that
that's
out?
why that stuff's worth money because people didn't see the value in it and just got rid of it.
And they didn't
You know?
give a shit back then.
Yeah.
Yeah, like for instance, I had a I had a comic book that didn't even like at the time you get it, you don't realize what it's gonna you know what I'm saying? Like
Every once in a while, a hair will stand up on the back of your neck, but it's few and far between.
yeah. And it was the first issue of Spawn. I had the first issue
Sure.
of Spawn and I just, you read it, you just throw it around, you don't realize that Tom McFarlane is gonna go on to build this whole fucking empire and
I bought 3 of them that day. Three,
hey,
1, 2, and 3. I bought 3 of each of
hey,
those. I liked the story, but I never got into it.
yeah.
So that was another one that was just put away because you knew Todd was going to do something. You didn't realize,
It was gonna
you
get
know,
that way. Oh, that
yeah,
big. Because when I started reading Image Comics, my favorite character was Savage Dragon. So
yes,
I had his
Eric
first
Larson,
issue.
Shadow Dragon.
Yeah, I had a bunch of those issues, and I was really into that. I don't know what it was. I don't know. Maybe it was the artwork. That's why I followed Jim Lee and McFarlane to
Yep.
Image because I love their art style.
Yeah,
And
when Todd left, he knew what he was doing, man. He took
yeah,
fucking all the A-listers and hell, he even took fucking Liefeld from him
I know. And they had like
just to be a dick.
this crazy lineup of comics from Image, and I remember having all like when I finding out when all those first issues were coming, and I went to my
Right.
local comic store. I was like, I want all of these, man, because this is gonna be cool.
Yep.
But again, you don't fucking know. I got one issue, I read the shit out of it. It winds up the cover falls off, and does it become
Well, the first when Jim Lee did Batman, fucking, I knew those books were going to be something. I mean, because finally, Batman's got the greatest artist in the world working on it. So,
yeah.
fuck yeah. I put that first one in a steamer trunk that I had. All the rest were bagged and boarded. And when it came time for me to, pony up and sell them, I found them all but that one issue. It was driving me nuts. I found it in that steamer trunk, just mangled
Oh,
beyond. I when I met Jim Lee, I wanted to have him sign that book.
yeah. Can you at least sign? Just throw it on the table. It's all mangled. He's like, where do you want me to sign this? Oh my goodness, dude.
And just stick it in your back pocket as you're walking away.
For real, for real. So right now in your collection, what would if you and now I put a gun to your head right now and say, Shane, you gotta pick one, your favorite one. If there's a fire, this is the action figure you're
if
gonna
if
save.
there's a fire in the house, and trust me, I love my daughter more than the air I breathe. I would give them. Don't even. It's not a thought.
Yeah.
I would grab my GI Joe omnibus before I grab fucking anything. and it's right there. It's by the door. So yeah.
God forbid you need it. It's right there to take. I need some rear
Yeah.
material.
The worst comes to worst, you hit somebody with that damn
That
thing.
goddamn thing, yeah.
Fucking that thing is gigantic. Best $150 I ever spent in my life.
You like that? You like the GI Joe comics and stuff? I never really got into those. Were they any good?
Oh, the comics were great.
Like the original comics.
Yeah, they. I mean, for as hokey as the cartoon was, the comics brought that sense of realism to them. I mean, with Larry and actually being in the war, I mean, he
Yeah,
brought some realism to it. I
that's
mean,
awesome. That's awesome stuff, dude. For real, for real. Uh, wow. So you didn't even say action figure. You said a book, by the way.
right?
Dude,
As
I'm.
far as figures go, I mean, I love them to death, but unfortunately, they're all replaceable.
Isn't that's a good thing to
Every
say?
figure I own, you can find out there. You know,
Yeah.
it's that personal connection. And when I lost this storage unit, I had a Rubbermaid tub, just not a big one, but it had those toys, like my
The ones
first
that meant.
Gundams, my
Yeah.
favorite one-offs. All that was
Yeah.
in, and that's that and all my spaceships. I had fucking this giant. When we moved, wife and I moved into our first house, I was like, as pretty as you make the house, the garage is mine. It's going to be the exact opposite. So I had gunship metal gray walls and a flat black ceiling.
Wow, that's sick.
And I had all the spaceships were hanging from the ceiling. It was crazy.
That's sick, dude.
Yeah, it
Were
was
they
so much
just
fun.
like spaceship, or were they like Star Wars
It was
or
all Star Wars, Buck Rogers ships. I had the
nice?
Javelin one from, just if it was a spaceship, it was up there.
So that's awesome, dude.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man.
And I was doing
Uh,
the body shop business. I had more money than I did sense at that time.
hell yeah, man. Oh,
Man,
so you have you also do auto body work as well?
I try not to.
Okay. Why?
It's easy money. I'm good at it, but it's annoying. Fuck, I
Um,
hate
yeah. I got
it.
into it briefly, and in high school, like you take the class in high school and shit like that,
Yep, yep,
and I was very good. Like it kind of took to it. I liked it. I liked the whole aspect, whether it was welding, painting, all that stuff.
yep.
And I just was like, I don't know if this is where I want to, because I was such a moron and I wanted to be a pro wrestler.
Hey, nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, well, tell my body that now, bud. If I would have known what I know now, then forget
I
about it. I
was
would have.
I always lived my life. I mean, probably being a '70s, '80s kid. I mean, I
Yeah,
always lived my life like I was trying out for the X Games. So
yeah,
we're
dude,
doing 80, 90 in a car. Fucking, I'm holding onto it with a skateboard. Fucking wearing rollerblades, whatever. Just go faster.
yeah. Extreme, right?
Climbing up on hoods of cars, driving down the road. Wherever you don't hit the brakes, why? I'll be right back. you know.
I used to say to the counselors in high school, they said, like, "What do you want to, we have to talk about like what you want to do after you get out of school and stuff like that." And I said, "I want to be a pro wrestler," and they would like literally just dumbfounded look in their face, just stare at me and go, "Is that's it? There's no plan B?"
No
You
plan
know?
B, none.
And I was just like, I don't want. If you have a plan B, then plan A.
Isn't plan A anymore.
Yeah. So I was just kind of like, no, I want to be a wrestler. I want to get involved in the wrestling business. I don't want to. And then in economics class, the final project was to create a business, and I
Right on.
did a wrestling business, and I got an A plus. And the teacher looked at me and was like, you know, I didn't think, you made it. This looks pretty good on paper. And it was just
Right.
one of those things where I was just like, yeah, because this is what I want to do. I don't want to go anywhere else. This is kind of
Yep.
what it is for me. But I should have. My plan B would have been auto body. It would have been auto body technician because I really liked it. It was fun. I felt,
There's a sense of accomplishment when you
yeah,
fix
yeah,
something and you fix it right, and somebody can get in that car with their kids and they will be just as safe as it was when it rolled off the line.
yeah. There was
There's
something too good about when you get a dent popped out filled with body filler and you paint that motherfucker and it looks brand new. Like I did that. I was very good at that. Like he would always bring car doors because they would like either teachers or like other people would actually bring the shit to the shop and they would
right.
like it was like an actual shop.
Yep.
And he would say, Anthony, come over here. You're gonna do this door today because I was good at it. Like I could, like if there was like
Nice.
a bend in the door, I could literally get that by sanding and I'm like that with the miniature shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So like I've always
Right.
been
No,
creative,
no,
and I like that shit. But
it all it all
it
works
all
together.
ties in.
It
It
really
all
does.
fucking ties in, dude.
Yeah.
You take all this stuff with you, and you don't realize it. Because even now when we're doing stuff with dioramas, which we're gonna get to now, um, you don't
Yeah.
realize that all the shit you learned in high school and your pops or your mentors taught you, that you start to apply it until you're
Yeah.
actually doing. You're like, oh my fuck, I learned this so many years ago. Holy shit,
100%, man.
you
Yeah.
know?
I had people when I first started putting the buildings on Facebook. Um, they were like, "Holy shit, you can do that!" And I'm like, "I didn't know either."
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you brought that up because what led you to diorama building? What did you see or who did you find where you're like, oh fuck, I
Shit
want
was too expensive. Like, I
um
I saw I don't know who did it, and I've looked for the video, and he like redid it. It's not the same. It's a stop motion video of Spider Man, and there's GI Joe guys, or the street level guys, and they're like moving plutonium or something, and then Green Goblin comes and steals it.
oh wow, okay.
This stop motion changed everything for me. I was like, fuck, I want to do this. This is,
Hmm.
and me and a buddy of mine in the early 90s were doing Robot Chicken before Robot Chicken. Fucking, we were trying stop motion with a camcorder,
Yeah.
dubbing shit over. We taped excerpts of TV on VHS tapes just to have sound bites. We were just,
Yeah.
nothing ever came of it because we're fucking stoners. I mean,
Yeah.
it was too much work back then, but now it's feasible.
Yeah.
And play motion, just GI Joeberg, fucking, that was the idea because I have basically a complete collection of GI Joe stuff. All I have to do is go get it, but I have no place to put it. So
Oh, okay. So you have like all the vehicles, everything.
everything,
Oh wow.
everything, it's all there. My buddy left it, and
So all you
thank
got to do
God.
is just go grab it. You just have nowhere
Yeah,
to put
that's
it.
it.
Wow, that's awesome, dude.
But yeah, and that was I was like GI Joeberg, the whole thing, and then I got into classified because I was like, all right, so these guys are detailed enough. I can do all the up close shit with classified figures, and
Wow.
then go back and do all the
Like wide
world shit
shots.
with the 3 and 3/4 inch figures.
That's fucking brilliant. That's actually a brilliant idea, dude.
I was like mind blown, and then it turned into this fucking, because you gotta. I mean, and it was crazy because at the time I looked at it and they were like, "Oh, this building's $400." I'm like, "That's like $20 worth of foam. Fuck you." And now that I built more than a couple of them, yeah, my shit, fucking, you want one of these, it's gonna cost you because my time, I don't like.
Yeah.
If
That's
I'm
the
not in
thing.
bed sleeping, I need to be getting something for
So yeah, dude,
it.
that's the thing. That's the thing I noticed was same reason, same thing. I came to
Yeah,
the action figure world because I like taking pictures of them, and then when I started to discover when I started to discover play motion, not play motion, stop motion, the stuff. It was like Spider Boy, it was animation films and stuff like that. I'm
I
like,
love Spider Boy. He's amazing.
yeah, I'm like, whoa, what the? They actually putting stuff behind, like buildings behind. I'm like, what the hell's this? And then I went and found ACBA, and then I saw all their shit, and I was just like, oh wow, like if this you can build dioramas. And then I went down a whole rabbit hole and then discovered all that shit. But then I started to think the same way you did. I'll just pay somebody. Like I just, I don't want to fucking do all this. I'll just have somebody make it for me. And then literally saw the price, and I was just like, never mind, I'll give it a shot. And then
There's more.
half
There's other shit you want to spend your money on.
yeah, and then halfway through the process, you start to kind of realize, oh, this is fucking why they charge so much goddamn money, because they're putting. I mean, bricks are so fucking. They're so tedious. It takes forever, and I'm only doing these small little squares right now for Mikey, and it's taking weeks upon weeks. I still have a giant one that I have to do. So it's kind of like I understand. Oh, Jesus Christ, they did that, dude.
That
That's
thing's like 7 feet tall. Fuck that.
that's like,
It's all gonna be brick. Fuck.
good luck with that. Are you sure about that?
These
Fucking A,
assholes
man.
will be brick.
Uh, Yeah, dude. At that point, I would just go stucco.
Well, I finally, in my head, I figured out how to do a skyscraper.
Okay,
Um,
let's hear it.
so I need a Proxxon hot wire cutter because it's basically a table saw for foam.
Yeah,
To get those perfectly straight, long pieces of foam. Take the building. I'm gonna cut a few windows in it here and there, and I'm gonna put a piece of smoked plexiglass, the thinnest fucking plexiglass you can find, with a layer of tin on it, and then paint all those pieces, and then stick them to the acrylic, and it'll have that. You know what I mean?
yeah,
It'll look like
yeah,
windows over the
yeah.
whole thing.
That's a good
Holy
idea, dude.
shit! There's a hummingbird. Sorry, fucking. I haven't seen one in a long time. There it goes. Yeah, sorry. I just made everybody throw up in their mouths a little bit.
It's all
But
good,
that's
man.
how my life goes. My wife gets mad at me when we're driving. She's like, "You're gonna wreck the car because you're looking at a fucking cloud."
I know
Well,
my wife.
look
Yeah,
at the colors, man. Look at the colors.
my wife is like that too. She's like looking at everything and always yelling. I had
Uh,
to yell at her a couple days ago because I was like, "Stop telling me how to drive. I'm
dude,
old enough."
I pull over and hand her the keys. Like, you drive anytime you fucking want.
Dude, there's a yeah. I said to her, I was like, you keep saying shit. I'm gonna make you get in the back seat because if you're gonna backseat drive, then you should be in the back seat. Like, I mean, fucking Christ, man. Like,
My
don't.
favorite's when we go around the corner and she grabs the door in the fucking oh shit bar. And every time she does that, I take that corner like I'm driving Miss Daisy. But if she
Yeah,
don't, I'll swing that corner.
yeah. It's fucking. She does that shit to me. She starts squeezing my arm. Like, what are you doing? And then I love my wife to death, but she's such like she's an animal lover, and like she'll see a squirrel. I mean, not even close to the road. Watch out for the squirrel. Watch out for the and like I look at him like I'm telling you right now, if the squirrel is in the road and it's either me or the squirrel because I'm not going to swerve and hit somebody else,
Yep.
the
No,
squirrel is curtains. You
I hate.
understand? It's it,
Yeah,
it's
I
it's
hate to
done.
say it. It
Yeah,
better flatten itself out.
yeah. I said to her, I was like, I hate to like break the news to you, but I'm not going to destroy my car and almost potentially kill us to save a squirrel.
Yeah, you have to.
If I
You
could,
have to weigh the good and the bad.
Shane, if I could tell you how many times I've had that argument with her now.
Well, I was going over the bridge one time and I couldn't stop the car on the bridge. I had to go around and I'm freaking out. The kids in the car like, "What's going on?" I'm like, "Not right now. Hold on."
Yeah,
God forbid. I didn't. I saw a kitten fucking on the bridge. I was like, "Shit." Fucking nobody slamming on their brakes. Fucking, but it was in a spot where it wasn't gonna get run over. Fingers crossed. Flew around, stomped up the bridge, fucking waving people in the other lane, fucking. And I swear to God, it got up on the side, and when I grabbed it, it jumped off the bridge. Like, son of a bitch. Gotcha. And, you know, I don't know. I've been yelled at. We're at 7 down from 15, and that's from saving fucking.
yeah,
We went to Publix and there was one hiding behind the propane tanks, and we got people with sticks and shit trying to get it. I'm shaking my head. The wife's like, "No, no, just don't, no." I'm like, all right." Fucking 15 minutes of this going on while I'm waiting for a ride. I'm like, "Fuck this." 30 seconds. I had the kitten. Fucking boom. Everybody's like, "Oh, let me see." I'm like, "No, y'all fucking this thing. No, it's damaged from what you've done to it. Just
yeah,
stay
yeah,
away."
yeah. Fucking hit, trying to hit with a stick.
Oh, they had like a pool net. I'm like, "What are you doing?
Yeah,
Use your brain." It's
dude, that's
terrified
exactly how
as it
my
is.
that's exactly how my wife is right now. She's like constantly, if we see an animal, can we save it? And I just
You,
kind of look at her. I was
from
like,
one who knows, you can't save everything.
yeah, I said, babe, you gotta like, you know, you gotta understand that sometimes, like she gets really upset. I it breaks my heart to see her get upset like that. But
Yeah,
you know,
right. You're gonna have fucking 30 dogs and 100 cats and three
oh, I said to her, I was like, yeah, I said, if I
chickens.
let you fucking figure shit out, we'll have animals all over the fucking place. She said, can we
I,
get goats?
I
And
ended up with 3 fucking ducks because of these fucking idiots I live with. Are you kidding me?
my wife,
And ducks
she,
don't quack; they go and
yeah,
there's shit everywhere. That's all they do.
my wife was like, she said, can we get goats? They'll take care of the grass. And I was just like, yeah, and everything else. They'll eat
I do want to
everything.
faint and go. Fucking, I want something that I can yell at. It'll
They
go.
just won't.
God damn
For real.
it! I think to have that power would be all right. That would fucking put years back on my life.
Oh my god. Uh, so let's get back to toys. um,
Quick sidebar.
yeah. Are there any? Have there been any lines that have come out yet that you haven't gotten your hands on that you're kind of like, fuck, I
I
want one?
just ordered Monster Force. I got
You're in for a treat, by the way.
I know.
Yeah,
Everybody's Mikey, like right off the bat, fucking was like, dude, I was like sold.
yeah. It,
But
it
I
was worth
got
it was
Van
worth every
Helsing
penny.
and the Pharaoh coming.
Yeah,
I can't
it's
wait
it.
to get my hands on them.
I like Van Helsing because he can literally blend right in with GI Joe and
Right,
Valaverse if you need.
right.
Um, and dude, those when you get Van Helsing, you're immediately gonna go. I gotta get the Delta Red Troopers because they're where it's at. Because you could take Van Helsing's head off and put it on one of them, and he looks tactical and shit.
Right.
Um,
Ugh,
I got two black and red Delta Reds. I saw what Zakanin did with Dracula. He put Dracula's head on one of them, and I kind of like what he did there. And
nice.
that's when I was like, all right, well, I want a blue one for Van Helsing because I don't want him to I want him to be separate from them. So I'm
Right.
gonna wind up getting a blue one in a couple weeks. Right now, dude, I'm
Hell
tapped
yeah.
out. I spent way too much money at Legion's Con yesterday. Way too.
They're right there at that. If they were a dollar fucking more, I couldn't do it.
You couldn't do it. Yeah, I.
They put it right to that, right at the bar, boy. Let me tell you, fucking, they
What's
got me.
what's starting to dude, they got a couple of us hook, line, and sinker right now.
Dude, and
Yeah.
the whole fucking line looks like it's fucking a giant army builder. I
Oh
mean,
yeah.
all of them
Oh
fucking.
yeah.
And the red ones that look just like the Action Force bad guys.
Yeah. Yeah, that's sick, dude.
Yeah, I don't need 20 of them, but
And like again, Roadkeeper bought a bunch because he's army building with them and fucking like I was just like, yo, man, like I don't like the fact that the standard price now is becoming $35. Like
dude,
I
I was
noticed that.
mad when the price of figures jumped from 10 to 20. There wasn't even the 15 in there. It went
No,
straight
it
to
just
10.
jumps. It's like making this $10 because it was like $25. Now all of a sudden it's like
Those
Marvel
well,
Legends or
original Marvel Legends were $10.
yeah. I don't know. I
And
just feel
that's
like
when they stopped selling to kids and started selling to
for
us.
adults, yeah.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
right. They're like, hey, wait a minute, we got these guys. And I
Yeah,
tell people all the time, like, I get it. Put your collections back; they'll be worth not what you think they're going to be worth, because
yeah.
we are the last generation of toy kids.
Mm.
Some of our kids we've turned into toy kids, but full on flat across the board, we're the last generation of all that shit. We
Yeah,
really
it
are.
dies. It
And
definitely dies with us.
all these Star Wars collections,
Yeah.
they're not going to be worth what you think they are, because the price is set by people who want them.
Yeah.
And people that want them aren't going to be there anymore. I'll be damned. Somebody said something in a chat fucking not that long ago about, 20, 30 years from now. I'm like, okay, unless you're like action figure addict, he's got 20, 30 years to collect. I'll
Mm.
be 80. I'll be goddamned if I'm rolling into Target fucking on my fucking scooter, hoverboard, or whatever the fuck they got for me, buying toys. I mean, at a certain time you do have to grow up, but
Yeah.
not this day.
Yeah. So I guess you answered the next question, which is, do you see a shelf life on this, or are you going to collect until the end of time? So I guess you do kind of see a point where you're going to stop.
I didn't think I was going to live past 18. Here I am. I'm going to be 50. Fucking. So we're all on borrowed time
Yeah,
as far as
that's
I'm
very
concerned.
true, buddy. That's very true, man. And I'm
I've
one of the
had,
like I told
yeah,
my
I've had
wife
too many.
yesterday.
Sorry.
No, it's all right. I told my wife yesterday. I said, this is getting it's gonna be an expensive habit. I was like, I think it might be one of those. There might have to be a shelf life on this because
Oh,
at
that dude,
least a
that
break.
Odin figure, fucking $60, brand new off the cuff. Wow.
Yeah, dude.
And
It's
I've screwed up the last 3 times I've had money to go order action figures. I've forgotten each time to order that goddamn Kingpin figure.
yeah.
He's
Probably.
next. My next check, fucking.
Yeah, you got to get him, dude. He's good. It's
If
one of
I'm
my
allowed,
favorites.
fucking. I set all this up just to see it and to show it, and I had my wife come over. I'm like, come look, look, look! I'm so happy. She looks, she shakes her head, and she goes, "You're not allowed to have your paycheck anymore." With that tone, like you know the tone.
Yeah, they're like the disappointed tone, and they're just like, all right,
Wasn't she was happy that I was happy, you know, and
yeah,
as
yeah,
far as the YouTube channel goes, it cut me a lot of slack on a lot of toys. Fucking,
yeah. It does, it does. Yeah,
I got 3 subs off of that toy. Oh, good job.
yeah. You know, a lot of people like this thing. They like me talk, hear me talk about it. I lucked out because my wife loves because her father collects toys too. He collects Hot Wheels.
Yeah, dude, he's got a
So
great Hot Wheel collection.
yeah, and
Very cool.
she just kind of took to this very easily. I There was no, didn't take no convincing. It was nice.
I
She loves
I
coming on
love
them.
that Hot Wheels has like 7-Elevens and shit like that.
Yeah,
Fucking,
yeah.
you can world build the shit out of some fucking Hot Wheels.
Dude, when I was a kid, I used to love Hot Wheels. But then I get older, and I want the action figures. And then I was always like a 1/12 scale kid anyway, because I like the 6-inch size action figure more than the.
Right.
I like GI Joe, but I always felt GI Joe was too small and flimsy because the O ring would always break.
Megos were it. And even
Yeah,
when Megos went away, it was Megos. I mean, they were
yeah,
the right size.
yeah. And then when I started collecting the superpower figures, I think that was like what I remember most about action figure collecting as a
Yep.
kid. And then dude, I always tell the story, was I saw the first Marvel Legends Wolverine, like when they started making the new ones, and he had double jointed elbows, double jointed knees, and all that shit. And I just kind of looked at how good he looked, and even those dumb plastic claws at the time. Like now you know how to make your own, right? But I'm looking at them, and I looked at my friend, and I was like, "This is what they look like," and he goes, "Yeah." I go, "Fuck." I think I'm gonna start collecting toys again, you know. And you just start buying them, and then before I know it, I got every fucking thing I could ever want in terms of like nostalgia and all this shit. Like,
You know, well, Punk just did a video about putting shells up in his basement, and I
yeah,
remember now it's me and the wife have been together 23, 24 years next year, and so when we first moved into our first house, I was doing that, and
mm,
it was just the board and the L brackets. I didn't do anything fancy because it was all about what was on the shelf, not the shelf. And I was cheap too. Fucking
yeah,
get it from my dad. But I spent $200 on shelves just to have shelves to put all over the place. I mean,
yeah.
oh, fuck.
I think I'm buying. I think right here on this wall. This is because we're rearranging this whole room. This I'm on the other side now, like where I was on that side. Now I'm on this side.
Okay.
So I told her where I used to have the action figures over my head. I said I'm basically going to put along this whole fucking wall. So I'm just going to put everything. I'm going to put some racks here with some vehicles because like
Don't
I
do the
told
racks. Don't. As cheap
no.
as they are, you gotta. If you do, you have to get like one of those super thin Formica boards or whatever to
Okay.
put over the top because
Yeah,
those
yeah.
racks just they suck. I
They
mean,
suck. Yeah, yeah.
everything's got to be on a stand no matter what because they fall through the racks.
They fall through racks. Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up because I was way ahead of you on that because I was going to put something down on it anyway because I
Yep.
wanted to put lights under it and have it lit from under it.
Yeah.
So
Perfect.
that's why, because I want to, like, for instance, like if the Batmobile's on it, I would put light under so lights under the Batmobile and shit
That would
like
be
that.
cool as shit, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
Fucking
then I was gonna build like dioramas on the shelf. Since I'm doing this shit for Mikey, I kind of like got the bug for it. I'm like, I like this.
right.
So
Yeah.
just like each shelf will be its own and I got it from Ibrahim Mustafa. I want to shout him out too because I
Oh,
watch his videos
awesome.
all the time, and all his shelves are like a small dio
Right.
to the thing. So I wanted to start kind of doing that. So I kind of want like the top shelf will be like GI Joe and Valaverse, like so it'll be like kind of like a war going on between the two
Fuck yeah.
sides. Then the
Fuck yeah.
second one will be like a danger room with the X-Men, and then like over here would just be like vehicles like the Batcave and things like. I'm gonna try to work it out as best I can with space. Obviously,
I got
it,
to get into lighting. That's where I come up short. I know I can do
yeah,
it. I mean, it's not. The people that can't use a screwdriver, I don't. I just feel bad for them.
yeah,
It's like that Dean Martin joke. Fucking, I feel bad for the people that don't drink when they wake up in the morning. That's as good as they're gonna feel all day.
yeah. Lighting is it's an art form in itself, though. You know, you got to learn.
Right, right,
Um, but it also comes down to like you got to have a cinematographer's eye too, in a sense of you have to know what you're shooting. So like
right,
it all depends on what it is. What's the scene? Like if you're gonna
right,
paint the picture, then that's the paint. Like, is it at night? Is it during the day? It's gonna be light glare. There's gonna be this. There's gonna be
right.
fog. What is gonna impede
Yep.
the depth and shit? Like what's
I
gonna?
never went to film school, but I had 5 friends that went
Yeah,
all the way through it,
yeah.
so I got to go along for the ride.
So yeah, so you wind up learning that, and then you figure that shit out, and then once you figure that part out, lighting becomes kind of easier
Right. That's
because
why
then
I'm
you,
so shocked with like squirrel. Um, what is it? Joburg. Sorry,
yeah, GI
fucking
Joe
went
Bird, yeah,
drew a blank. They have a great cinematic eye, and I don't
mhm.
think any of them went to school for it. I
No,
mean, I think they just lucked out. Maybe I don't know, but that shit's amazing.
dude, it was it was the first time I had actually seen people not give a fuck about being in the shot, and
Right.
at the same time, I
Yeah.
didn't give a fuck about seeing them in the shot because
Right. Yeah. It doesn't break the immersion at all.
I know sometimes it's kind of like I've had a few people comment like I can't get past the fact that your hands are in the shot, and it's just like
I think those are people that didn't play with toys as a kid.
yeah, it's one of those things. But
I
you
don't
then
know.
clearly
You see how Joburg does their videos? That's how I used to
play.
play.
That's
I mean, that's
exactly my yeah,
exactly how I did it as a kid.
yeah.
And my brother was 11 years older than me. I had a ton of friends, but I was a latchkey kid. Fucking, you came home, nobody's allowed over till we get home.
Mhm.
So I had 3 o'clock on. 3 o'clock, you watch GI Joe, you watch Transformers, you go play. Fucking, and one thing I can't deal with Florida is there's no basements.
Mm,
I had we had a basement. Yeah, everybody's got a basement in New York,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
But one whole corner of it, it looked like it was a basin at one point in time. It held water, but they knocked the front part of it out, but the sides were still there around the foundation. My dad hung a ping pong table by 4 chains and put a giant 55-gallon fucking barrel under the center. So it didn't really, and that was my playboard. And we
Awesome.
had a pool table just off to the side of it, which is where I would put the Terradrome and shit. Until I made it snow with fucking baby powder, and let me tell you, even a vacuum cleaner won't take that shit off.
Nope. Yeah. Nope.
That was an ass beating I won't soon
Yeah.
forget, and I'm 50.
Yeah, powders, yeah.
Yeah, don't dump that on felt, boy. Let me tell you,
Yeah, yeah. I don't fuck with
that's a
I don't
12-year-old fucking up for you.
as a kid when I was a kid, I always loved to play with the elements, but I always used to hate what it would do to the figures. Like, if you took the figure to the beach, you're essentially just putting sandpaper to that figure. Because between the sands on your hands and just playing with it, you're just scraping the paint off. You're just fucking the figure up, But you want that. You
Yeah.
want to play like well, come on, man. The GI Joe's got a storm on the beach. Like what the fuck, Like so. I just wish they made kinetic sand back then.
Oh God, could you imagine?
All of that stuff, like that non-stick slime,
Oh
like
yeah,
all that shit. Like, cause when I was a kid, like I
the
loved.
slime would stain the woodwork when we were kids, let alone anything else it touched.
It was disgusting. Yeah, it was disgusting, and it would be like a film on your hands. If
Oh,
you get on the
the
action
black
figure,
slime that came with that fucking Toy Biz fucking Venom figure. Remember
I
that?
know. Yes, it
Oh
was
my God.
disgusting.
Oh,
Yeah.
a lot of trouble with that one. And I was
Sometimes, like I said, I
broke.
know as a kid and you're supposed to play with that stuff, but a lot of times I just didn't. I just said, "Fuck it, I don't want to fuck the figure up." And then a lot of times, I don't know if you kind of was like this too, but whenever I saw those weird novelty figures, like for instance the Venom with the slime, I didn't like the fact that his back had a giant hole that you would just stick slime into. So
Right,
I didn't fuck with the figure. I didn't like it because it just to me it was just like no, I want to be able to turn and see the logo on the back. I want to just be
right.
able to
I
see
was
his
at that time I was an on card collector because the
okay.
cards were the card art, the flash, the pop on the card. That was the toys sucked. I mean, they
Yeah.
did, but you could see them progressively getting better and better.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
for real. I
People are
wonder if
like,
you
"Oh, did you see these?" Yeah, I saw it. I mean, they didn't have the ability to make them like this back then, but
yeah.
they were on their way.
they kind of had an idea of what it was coming to, I guess,
Right.
because even as a kid, I always wanted more articulation on like my superpower figures. Because I always used
Oh
to,
man, I Delta 17. Fuck, I say it all the time. When I was a kid, when we first got the swivel arm battle grip, we all swore we were going to get rotating wrists. Like we
yeah,
all, that's where they never did. But
yeah,
that's what I always wanted in a GI Joe guy, and it makes all the world
all the
because you can
difference.
now twist that gun to fit, and it used to drive me nuts as a kid. In all their promos, I was like, "Who is playing with these toys?" Because the gun stock's hanging off fucking the op. Nobody'd ever hold something like that.
Like
It
that,
used to
yeah,
drive me nuts as a kid. I was 6, going, "Why can't I do that?"
yeah. Dude, when
Sorry,
I
I'm
was,
getting rained on.
no, it's all good. My bad.
No,
I'm
you're
sorry.
good, brother.
I'm sorry I made you go outside.
No, I just got to
uh,
push the street back a little bit.
okay. All right. As long as you're all right, but I don't want you to get wet. Yeah, I remember just I would look at the GI Joes, and then I would look at the superpower figures, and I would always tell myself like, man, I wish these articulated like these, but I also wish these were as tall as these.
100%, dude.
Like
That
that was,
swivel arm battle grip changed everything.
yeah.
Everything.
It
And
made it
that
made
showed him how to do it with the thigh swivel, with the boot cut, with the wrist. It's that one guy and
yeah,
working at Hasbro that fucking. I'm not exactly sure who it was, but
yeah,
that's the guy I want to meet. I met
yeah.
Ron Rudat. I forgot to ask him fucking out because I was like, it's Ron Rudat.
He was like, hey Ron, who is the guy who said, what if the arm swiveled? Because
Right.
I'd like to meet
Right.
that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, for real. Because like I remember the first time I saw like the most articulated Spider-Man I had ever saw. I don't know who made it.
The big
But
one that's
no,
got
he
like
was he was
64 points articulation,
no,
or the
he
little
was
one.
6 inches. He was a little one, but he
Yeah. All right.
moved
Yeah.
so well.
Yeah,
And
with
I
all the
my
joints and fucking.
yeah, my friend already had him, and I go, why can't all of them do this? Like I didn't
Right.
understand why it was just Spider-Man. And
Right.
he was like, I
And
don't
he
know.
he still couldn't do the right poses. I mean, but
No.
they stuck a rivet in every fucking joint in that guy.
Yeah, hey, look at all the movies he could do, right? But fucking hey
He
man, I
had the
just
hands that fucking motherfucker.
yeah. That drove me crazy, by the way. Did it drive you crazy too? Because like, well, how? I mean, he's always like this. What is this gonna do? Like, what if I have him talking to somebody? This is how he talks.
Oh, everybody's like, oh, you can make your own webbing. Like, dude, I've been making my own webbing for the last 45 years for Spider Man.
I know, dude. It's fucking crazy. I'm happy though. I'm happy where we are with action figures now. Like,
Oh
I'm happy
man,
that they're,
yeah, we are in a golden age of action figures right
yeah,
now. We really
I'm,
are. And I
dude.
hate to say it, that Diamond Select Captain America figure still right up there with the best figure I've gotten this year.
I like it. I have that cap. If I had to tell you the best Diamond Select figure that I got, I would have to say it was Crimson Dynamo. I like that figure. I do, and I saw somebody do this online. Like, I don't know who it is. So I can't give them the credit, but they took the Diamond Select Captain America shield and they put it with the Marvel Legends, and
Yeah,
I loved how it looked. So I might wind up doing the same. I do like the fact that the Diamond Select Captain America can stand with the McFarlane toys, and it scales perfectly with them. But other than that, like when it comes to Diamond Select, I know a lot of people get the bigger figures, like Juggernaut and shit like that. Um,
right.
but I'm
Well,
good
the
with the
Diamond
Marvel
Select,
Legends.
they're great for all the figures that are bigger figures in the line,
Yeah,
like Colossus and the Hulk. And
yeah,
because you want a bigger figure, you don't want a Hulk that's 7 inches and everybody else is 6.5. I mean,
yeah. The one thing I will say about Marvel Legends though, now they're figuring it out because Hulk is usually about 8, 9 inches tall.
right,
And even like the Colossuses that I have, he seems to scale kind of perfectly with the X-Men and stuff like that. Whereas like Diamond Select, the only one I could justifiably, at least to me, to say, oh, this is like sized perfectly or scaled perfectly would be
right,
Juggernaut, the
yeah,
Hulk, maybe Thanos. Like when I start to see, like I don't want a 7 foot tall Captain America. Like I
right,
like the Marvel Legends one, but I do like when I first got it, I wanted to put the old school shield on it, and then just kind of like that's this is a statue of Captain America if I ever
right.
need it. Like that was
Well,
kind
that
of my
the Diamond Select Cap works good for me because he's right up there with the DC figures right now.
yeah. That's what I'm saying. He
So
scales perfectly with
Captain
them.
America and Batman can fuck around, but
Yeah,
I don't know, fucking You know, it's like you want to meet Todd McFarlane, shake his hand, get his autograph, and then when it's all over, be like, "What the fuck, man?
Yeah.
Really?
You want
You
to shake the
just
shit out of
do
him.
you know what a pin is?
Yeah. Nah, for
You
real.
should because all your figures have them."
I mean, fucking dude, and it's ugly. It's very ugly and noticeable. Like, can you
Oh
hide them
man,
maybe?
just
And
you know,
fuck
and
you.
you can in play motion, you can have your hand in it, and it doesn't take away from the immersion. But those pins get me every time.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, I gotta move. Fucking, I'm getting wet.
Yeah, yeah. Please don't
Born
worry
and
about
living
it.
in the tropics, man. I love it.
Well, you weren't
Another
kidding.
day
You
in
walk a little bit
paradise.
further away.
So while
Look at
y'all
that
are
building
looking,
he's got going on. Like, yeah, check out. Give us a tour, man.
who wants a tour of Springfield?
That's so sick. Wait, what car is that? The black convertible.
And I got more of them. That's the first building I
Holy
ever made
shit!
right there.
Right on, dude.
Well, I got that
That's
one,
sick.
and everything's being worked on all at once. The funny
That's
thing
awesome
is that
stuff,
when
dude.
I first started doing this, I started going blind. Like I didn't see that coming.
Jesus Christ, but really?
I really didn't. Fucking, it was insane. But thanks to friends, fucking, I believe in God. I can see. Fucking, I was legally blind this time last year. If you can believe that
Oh shit, dude. That's crazy. That's good to see. That's good to hear that. Good to see, no pun intended, but it's good to see that you're okay now.
Yeah, it's crazy. Fucking,
uh,
I went to the hospital one time. Fucking, they're like,
well,
I'm like, yeah, everybody just go home. Don't worry about it. I'll call you when I need a ride. 10 minutes after everybody left, they're like, yeah, you got this ketoacidosis. I'm like, yeah, okay, that's a big word. What's that mean? It's like, oh, basically your blood turned to acid. And I was like, it's fucking metal. Now what do I do?
what the? Yeah, what the fuck?
That doesn't
Yeah,
sound good.
exactly. And you turn around, you're like, "Am I
So
like the alien from
everybody
Aliens?"
out there, watch out for the diabetes because it's something. Let me
Oh
tell you, you don't
shit!
want to have to change your life like that.
God damn, dude. No, please don't. Shane, I'm gonna ask one more question, and maybe you can help me answer this one because no one yesterday could answer it. Um, where the fuck are we gonna put a 3.5 foot dragon?
I would say on top of the TV set, but they don't make those TVs anymore.
Dude,
I gotta
I
build
saw
a
that mythic
fireplace to have a fucking mantle big enough to
for
put that fucking
yeah,
dragon on.
for real, dude. For
Did you get to
real.
see it?
Yes, it is fucking gigantic. It is
Oh my
huge.
god, yeah, it's absolutely beautiful. Fucking, I saw the.
Yeah,
I was like, can you
yeah.
imagine
I
what
heard a
that looked
couple.
like in person? That's.
Yeah, I heard two guys when we were looking at it. Two guys were like, "How much do you think it's going to be?" And another guy was like, "Well, they haven't determined that yet because they don't even know what plastic they're going to use to make this thing."
It'd be around 400.
I say 4 or 5,
I
four or
don't
five.
think
Because
it can go much higher than that and actually be
there's a
well.
basic version, and a deluxe version. So I assume it'll be like $100 difference or some shit.
Yeah, they got to work on those wings. I saw that guy putting it together. He just had those little pins, fucking. So it's not
Mm,
completely done. It's done, but it's not done. You know what I mean?
done, done. Yeah, yeah. They got to figure that out because, dude, I've been seeing a lot of people, even like Savage Land. Do you see what happened on Savage Land? He broke the fucking one of the legs from the
Crazy
HasLab
Leg's
figures.
leg fucking snapped off. All he said he was just trying to twist the thigh.
Yeah. Right, man. It's right here, and I'm afraid to open it now because I saw that.
Bust them open, man, because right now's the time because they have all the replacement shit. Don't let you
Don't let it
know.
wait. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, don't because
Yeah,
now's the time to do it while they have the
yeah.
replacements. Because at that price, you can't. You know,
Can't
I'm
fuck
not gonna
around,
write
man.
Wild Bill in 5 years and be like, well, I'm assed out. You know,
Yeah. And Wild Bill's one of my favorite figures too, so I want to make sure
man.
he's okay
Yeah,
because
that's.
that's
I'm gonna wind up spending $100 on him if I'm
he's
lucky.
yeah.
That's all I
And
want. I don't want any.
I will say this. I
If
will
I
say
had Ripcord,
Savage.
I'd be painting green on them right now.
Like I said, Savage Land said that they look like they feel like premium figures. They feel like Like the plastic is even different. So I don't know. I'm excited to get. I'm gonna like I said, I'm gonna open up tonight on the pre roll, and I'm
Right.
gonna see what they're all about. So,
Right. Yeah.
dude,
You
I got
just
so
never
much
know.
shit here. I when I tell you, dude, when I tell you, I like what is here is like I can't do anymore. I can't buy any more toys. Fucking crazy, man.
Well, that was. I figured there was if there was going to be a shot of us doing a live last night, it would be for you to unbox the Dragonfly and talk about Legion's Con. Fucking, we
Yeah.
wouldn't be talking about me at all because I'd have too many questions for you. Did you see
But
this? Did
yeah,
you
no,
see
like I
that?
said,
Did you see this?
I know, dude. It's fucking. I don't know how I'm gonna open all this shit tonight. It's probably gonna be a late. Thank God, it's a 3 day weekend for my wife. Thank God she's got tomorrow off because of Veterans Day.
Right, right.
So
Hey,
we're gonna be up. We're gonna be up late
raining
opening
like
up
a
all these toys.
mother out there. God damn.
I know I can
It's
hear it in
like
the
Bobby's
background.
sitting here.
I can hear.
I got to get closer so I can fucking hear. I'm old. Huh? What'd you
Yeah,
say?
for real.
Huh?
Yeah. What? Huh? Well,
So
Shane,
good.
it was a pleasure to talk to you, bud. Is there anything? Is there anything that you're getting ready to buy? Is there any pre-orders that you're waiting for that you can't wait to see
There's a
or
lot of
get?
shit I want, of course. You know, I still haven't picked up Odin. That
Okay.
Kingpin's high on the list. I picked him up at a convention. I was like, this is a good figure.
Yeah.
And I got some Monster Force coming. That was, you know, I would wait 2 years for them. So I figured another couple months wouldn't hurt.
Yeah, for real.
But I do that general from the second series of Monster Force. I can't wait to get him. I need
I
four
know.
right off the cuff. Like I want to do the jugglers for GI Joe. So
Okay.
like the Joint Chiefs of Staff. Fucking, I mean, those
Yeah.
figures are going to be priceless for anybody doing dioramas.
Anything. I love. I pre-ordered that, and I pre-ordered a lot of their suited figures because I want all their suited figures because I just
Yeah, I
I don't know.
wish
There's
I'd
something about
pre-ordered
Monster Force.
Popeye. Um, Maybe
Okay.
some of the Dick Tracy figures, but
Okay.
yet again, I mean, oh, the one pre-order I do have is the 18 band from Ramen,
Yeah. Me too. Yeah.
and that's because the kid did it for me. That's winning. That's
Hell
winning
yeah.
right there.
Hell yeah.
I need
My
something
wife
right. He
pre-ordered
had
the
enough money to fucking. There you go, Dad.
yeah, my wife pre-ordered the the Punisher one for me, so
You
I'm
know, I was
excited
gonna
to.
do a winner for my 500 subscribers, so I was actually, you know, and it was taking some time because I wasn't really putting out. I wanted to let that just flow into it.
Yeah,
My
yeah.
500 subscriber was my daughter.
Aw, that's great.
I'm like, really? You waited fucking till 499 other people fucking liked me before Dad could get a like? Really?
Yeah,
Really?
you had to prove yourself.
She's a great kid, though. I cannot complain at all.
Hell yeah, that's good,
Few
man.
stitches to be better, but you know, hey, what are you gonna
Yeah.
do? Thought that's why we had kids to do shit for us. I don't know
That's what my
if you
mother
can
said to
hear
my
it or
mother said
not,
to me.
but
My mother said to me and my wife.
it was
She
a
said, Why?
monsoon
When?
out there. Fuck, I
Jesus
bet
Christ,
in
look at it out there.
hurricanes with less fucking rain.
Does it happen a lot? But it happens a lot
I
down there,
can't
don't
even
it?
hear you.
It happens a lot down there, don't it? With the rain.
Eight, every day at 3 o'clock it used to rain growing up. From like '89
Yeah.
on. When I moved down here, the first movie I saw was '89 Batman. So that's when I moved to Florida. And it used to be
Okay.
every day at 3 o'clock it would rain. And like 4 or 5 years ago, maybe more, it stopped. And now we're getting back to it. So
Oh shit.
that whole big weather pattern shit, fucking, that's a different channel and different story. But still,
How long does it usually rain by you? Like how
say
long?
it again.
How long does it usually rain by you? So how long will that storm last?
Anywhere from 10 minutes to an hour.
Holy
If
shit!
it's really hot out and it rains 10 minutes, it turns everything into a sauna. Don't. And
Yeah.
If
God
it
damn,
rains
dude.
long enough to get the heat out, you're good. It'll be cool the rest of the night, and you're set. And you know, as we say it, the rain's stopping. I can hear it
Yeah.
again.
Yeah.
We got to. People say it all over the place, but we got a saying in Florida: if you don't like the weather, wait 5 minutes.
That's it, right? That's I always everybody. I know a couple people who live down there, and they always tell me that they go, "Dude, it rains at the same time every day, but if you just kind of wait it out, it goes away, and then the day goes back to being beautiful."
Yeah, I mean it'll probably be dreary the rest of the day. Now it rained hard, nothing long enough, but
Okay,
it's
dude. I
October, man,
just
or November.
yeah,
Shit.
November
These
now.
days.
Yeah, I don't know,
God damn
buddy.
it!
It's been an absolute pleasure to talk to you today.
You
For
see
real,
me
for
looking
real.
for my cigarettes, right?
Yeah,
I smoke like a fucking chimney. Sorry, guys.
no, it's all good.
Before we go, I want to say one thing.
Yeah,
Thank you. I consider you guys family. I really do. Not best friends because best friends are dicks usually. Family.
I appreciate
But
that so much, man.
um, if you guys see me in the chats, sometimes I can't shut my fingers off. So if I'm bothering anybody, let me know because I will just. You've
Never.
seen it.
Yeah, no, never, bud.
I'm not trying to fucking, I'm just
Yeah,
talking.
no, yeah, no, never, 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 dude. Like one thing I will say is, and I say this a lot, even on lives, is if the channel stops and this is all that I've gotten from it, uh, I hit the lotto. You understand? Because like, there's just certain guys like you, guys like Woody, Maiton, Jeff, that now I've gotten
Yeah,
so close with that it wouldn't
100%.
have happened. It wouldn't have happened any other way. Like it had to happen this way through the toy community. And like the Woody was saying yesterday to me, he's like, we're all cut from the same cloth, but we all came here at different times. So
Right.
the cloth was just sliced. The pieces were just cut at different time frames, but we're
Nice.
all a part of that
That's a
same
good way
cloth.
of
So
looking at it.
it really is. And when he said
Woody's a
that, I
neat motherfucker, ain't he? And not
oh,
just
you
the
have no.
toys.
But let me tell you something. Woody Woody is he dresses the flyest, and he is this one of the deepest, smartest, most philosophical gentlemen I've ever met in my life. So, and it's an honor, like I said, it's an honor to know him. It's an honor to know you now. You have a friend, you know, whether you want to call a friend, family for life, bud. This is how it works with when I do these shows. It's because I want to talk to the person and get to know them better, and we
Well,
can't
I
do
was
that
kind of glad we did it this way instead of,
the
on
other
the
way.
live because that it's going to take your attention elsewhere to, you know what I mean?
That's a lot of the times why I always tend to want to do these this way anyway, because at least this way it's just me and you. We're just talking. I know the storm kind of sidetracked you a little bit. I apologize to all the people if they
Dude, I
heard me
fucking trust me. I am the king of seeing a shiny object over here.
get sidetracked. Yeah, but I appreciate you. You can follow Shane over at Same Time Toys on Instagram and YouTube. Like I
Oh,
said on
fuck
YouTube.
yeah.
Sometimes he goes live with Drive Time at Same Time, and of course Smoking Joe's. By the way, if you ever want a third, just let me know.
No, dude.
'Cause
Anytime,
I love to just
anytime. We
smoke
just
with you guys.
smoking Joe's happens when Woody's got something to say.
So yeah, that's what I'm saying. So just let me know. I'll
Yeah.
love to join.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
but I appreciate the time, brother. Stick around after we're done, and we'll
Yeah.
talk more off the air. But this has been Talking Figures. That's my man Shane from Same Time Toys. I'm Tony, as always, ladies and gentlemen. Keep playing, man.
Cobra.